America's Newsroom is going to start in 20 seconds. We've seen a lot this morning, and you got to take your hats off and tip them to law enforcement all across the country because they have sprung into action trying to keep us safe.
And I'll have more of this on the Brian Kilmeade Show on radio, which was also seen on streaming. Thanks for watching us. Keep it here.
Guys, thank you. Our coverage continues here on the Fox News channel. Good morning. Fox News alert now on what we have learned so far today. At least 2 more suspicious packages have been discovered. One aimed for the former Vice President Joe Biden, the other for the actor Robert De Niro in Lower Manhattan. So the latest on all this is we go into day 2. I'm Bill Hemmer live inside of America's Newsroom, and thank you for watching us today. The next 3 hours will be interesting. We'll see what we find as we go along.
See where it goes. Good morning, Bill. I'm Sandra Smith. The number of suspicious packages now stands at 9. In addition to Biden and De Niro, the targets include other top Democrats, as well as CNN. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders addressing the threat moments ago.
Look, the president's been made aware of the latest developments that have taken place this morning. And as he said yesterday, and as he has continued to say from day one of taking office, that we condemn violence in all forms. And this is a despicable act and certainly something that should never take place in America.
So full coverage on where we stand at 9:01 here in New York. Brian Yennis, Lower Manhattan, Tribeca, that's near De Niro's offices. Let's start, though, in Washington on the investigative front with Catherine Herridge now. Catherine, good morning there.
Well, thank you, Bill, and good morning. FBI Director Christopher Wray issued this statement late yesterday asking for the public's help, saying no piece of information is too small and warning more packages may be out there. And this morning, a newly identified package in New York City and another in Delaware apparently targeting former Vice President Joe Biden. Within the last 72 hours, investigations now in multiple jurisdictions on the East and West Coast. The first package to billionaire Democrat donor George Soros arrived on Monday, followed by former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, former President Barack Obama, former CIA Director John Brennan, delivered to CNN, former Attorney General Eric Holder, and Congresswoman Maxine Waters. The Secret Service confirmed yesterday that its routine mail screening intercepted 2 of the packages, and they are now working directly with the FBI, ATF, and the postal inspectors as part of the JTTF, or Joint Terrorism Task Force. In his first public comments after the bomb scare, Brennan told an audience in Texas that President Trump is to blame for the political climate.
Donald Trump too often has helped to incite some of these feelings of anger, if not violence. This is what, unfortunately, a lot of bullies, a lot of individuals do.
At a rally last night in Wisconsin, the president again emphasized that who or whatever is responsible will feel the full brunt of the law.
My highest duty, as you know, as president, is to keep America safe. Any acts or threats of political violence are an attack on our democracy itself.
In Texas, Brennan said he hoped the president's earlier statement condemning the pipe bombs marked a turning point. It's important to note, though, that no suspect, group, motive, or political agenda has been publicly linked to the packages by the FBI, Bill.
So we're learning some things here, we're trying to piece them together. What do we know about the similarities of these packages so far, Catherine?
Well, because none of the devices detonated, a federal law enforcement official told Fox News that there is a wealth of forensic evidence that's being analyzed by the FBI lab in Quantico, Virginia. It's also important to note that the FBI director highlighted a number of similarities in his statement late yesterday. He said each package used a large manila envelope with bubble wrap interior, 6 stamps with American flags, the same return address, misspelling Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz's name and address in Florida, as well as computer-printed address labels. Former federal investigator tells Fox that such printers can embed identification codes into the actual print, and that can link to the packages, and in some cases, it can even trace back to the printers. So a lot of forensics to work with on the investigative side, Bill.
All right, Catherine, thank you. We're going to lean on you a lot today, okay? Yet again, Catherine Herridge there in Washington. Thanks, Sandra.
Back to New York now, and that package sent to actor Robert De Niro and recovered early this morning in Lower Manhattan. Brian Yennis is live on the scene there now. Brian?
Good morning, Sandra. At about 5 a.m. this morning here at the Tribeca Film Center here in Tribeca, New York, in downtown Manhattan, security personnel noticed a package that looks similar to the ones that were sent out yesterday and in the days prior, the security personnel called the NYPD. The NYPD showed up. They x-rayed that particular package, and they decided that it was deemed necessary to put it inside of a containment vehicle, which then traveled to Rodman's Neck, that NYPD training facility, where they have delivered many of these packages, where they will now examine it for forensic evidence and see where we are further after that. Now, in terms of the packaging and the similarities, we're talking about what Catherine Harris just talked about, the heavy yellow manila envelope, the excessive postage stamps with the American flags, and apparently also, I think it's important to note here, Sandra, this package was found not only at the Tribeca Film Center, it is co-founded by Robert DeNiro. It's also next to the restaurant, the Tribeca Grill, which is also co-owned by Robert DeNiro. The package was addressed to Robert DeNiro, and of course, Robert DeNiro is a very vocal critic of President Donald Trump, and the other packages were sent to other prominent Democrats, although, like Catherine Harris had mentioned as well, the FBI has not released any official motive. Sandra?
We are waiting on more details to come out here in the coming minutes and hours. Brian, meanwhile, New York City still on a high state of alert this morning?
Yeah, New York is. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo says this is all out of precaution. They have added and doubled National Guardsmen at all the major transit hubs. They have also doubled state police and local law enforcement in places like iconic places like Times Square. And, you know, the James O'Neill, the NYPD commissioner, said yesterday that they are looking at security images, security cameras, particularly at the Time Warner building where a package was sent to CNN yesterday. They believe, according to the commissioner, that they have captured images of the courier who delivered that package to CNN. I also would stress, Sandra, that there are cameras in and around here, especially there's a camera behind me, actually, in the corner of this building. And I could imagine that the NYPD will be looking at all of that surveillance videos. They tried to determine how this package that was sent to Robert De Niro was delivered. Was it delivered by courier or otherwise? Sandra.
Brian Yanis in New York City on the breaking news this morning. Thank you.
So all of this prompted